he said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts."
You know, folks that really hit rock bottom and need a full spectrum of assistance. They need a safe living environment, they need a bed, they need spiritual, moral support, everything from clothing to transportation, to get them on that road to be productive and really to begin living an authentic life and help them feel the love of Jesus Christ.
Our program is to help individuals that have drug addiction, alcohol addiction, maybe some emotional problems that they're trying to deal with, post-traumatic stress disorder, for example, and they are able to come to us free of charge. There's no cost whatsoever for them to be in Alpha Omega. My name is Deacon Don Christie. I was ordained into Holy Orders of the Catholic Church approximately 23 years ago. I'm married and have 2 children and 5 grandchildren, and I am the founder of Alpha Omega 8 years ago.
He saw a problem in his community where young men were getting out of jail and going right back to the unsafe, drug-infested environment that really put them in jail in the first place. And they were expected to become productive citizens in society, which wasn't realistic. They were being set up for failure.
I heard about the Alpha Omega House while I was in jail, and I needed a place to go. I'd been homeless for a couple of years. Really, there's no place to go for guys like me, especially when they're coming out of jail, and it's easy to get into trouble again or not be able to stay sober or away from the people that are not good influences in our life. And so it was a blessing for me to be able to go to Alpha Omega.
They're good men. Most of them are very, very good men, but they have had some very bad things happen to them, and they've made some very bad choices. They have no place to go. And so the idea came to me, let's start Alpha Omega. I didn't have that name at that time, but I thought of the recovery home. And so I did a lot of investigating. It took us approximately 5 months. It turned out that we were able to find a 501c3 organization that would sponsor us, and what more of a perfect organization could we have than Catholic Charities or Catholic Social Services?
He found a house that was vacant and available, and he asked Catholic Social Services if we would step up and oversee and purchase the house, and we did.
It turned out then that we have a patronage that has come to us in between time that I knew very well, and we call her now Grandma Alpha Omega because she is the one that helped us get started. She gave us a nice donation, and within a few months after we bought the home, it was already paid for. So we knew we were on our way and that this was of the Lord. This was going to be His ministry.
I think that one of the biggest problems in our society will be addictions. It is addictions now, it will be in the future, because the virtue of self-control is not considered a virtue, but it very much is. Discipline is not considered a virtue, but it very much is to stay on the righteous path.
Every county has, in the UP is right now, is no different than any other county in the United States. We are under attack with the opiates, we're under attack with heroin, and especially the meth.
It's at epidemic proportions right now. People need to realize that drug addiction is a disease. Alcohol is a disease. So if we can get these men to understand that I've got a problem and admit to it, part of the 12-step program, and then I can't handle it myself, I need help. Now they can begin recovery.
And we've been praying for something to come into the community. I'm with the Delta County Sheriff's Department there. I'm the chaplain there. And I was just feel blessed that when Jason came in with the Alpha Omega House, it was just an answer to prayer.
When residents, young men, show up at the Alpha Omega House, first and foremost, they're embraced. They feel the love of Jesus Christ. They are given dignity and respect they may not have received in a long time, if ever. They're given love, unconditional love, and they're not judged.
When these men come in, many of them are very fragile. Many are very broken. And our job is to, first of all, make sure that they realize that God loves them. One thing that we are sure of, and Mike Melnor, our director, is very cognizant of this, and he makes sure, and that is that everyone there at Alpha Omega must be treated with dignity and with respect, and that respect is very important. They must be treated with dignity and with respect. They are good people who have made bad choices, but they deserve another chance.
And immediately they're given a bed, they're given a set of rules, because that's one of the things that certainly helps along that road to recovery is a disciplined life.
The home operates with us following all the rules that are given, and we got to go by all the court order rules. And we're given a probation period when we first come here. A week we have to stay in-house and do a probation period. We're obligated to get jobs and hold jobs and take urine tests when asked to. We're not to use any drugs or foul language in the house, and we're to walk in the light with the Lord.
Many of the residents that we have do not have a high school education. Well, we help them provide that, and we can get that free of charge for them through local agencies here.
And then they're given a Bible and asked to read it. And one of the other things they're asked to do is to look around the outside of the house and embrace a faith community. Whatever they choose is great, as long as they make the choice.
We are all faiths. Doesn't matter what faith, they can choose wherever they want to go to church, but they must attend church. And so the whole program is centered upon spirituality. And I don't mean standing on the street corner, praise the Lord kind of thing and fanatical. I'm talking just plain old solid spirituality.
My policy is if the church that you choose to go to, if the doors are open, you ought to be there and get involved with whatever they offer as services.
What's exciting is many of these parishes and churches host support groups. And that's the other thing they're set up with, is a support group that matches their needs, whether it's Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. And then they're expected to seek out professional help of a professional counselor of their choice. And all of these things come together. It becomes really a community team effort. The path to the greatest success is taking all the resources, combining them, and helping these folks who not so long ago had nothing, not even hope.
We're trying to change old selfish behavior into new godly habits.
Then we carry on the 12-step program, admitting to your failures and asking for forgiveness on those you've hurt and so on. You know, drug addiction being a disease, and a disease that a lot of people have no control over until they get the proper help. A person with addictions like that have hurt a lot of people. That's very common, not because they want to do it, but it's very common of the disease itself. Makes you do crazy things. Because of that, these men have to realize that it's going to take time for them to get that self-esteem back and get over that guilt that they carry by the people that they've hurt. Well, the 12-step program will allow them to do that. And we work that 12-step program at Alpha Omega.
It takes a long time to heal a mind. It takes years, sometimes years after you've abused it for 20, 30 years of drug and alcohol use. So we tell them don't go too fast. Alpha Omega is here as long as you want to be here, but you have to be going forward.
We've had men that stayed there for 6 months, sometimes 3 months. There's no real particular time element because every man that has come to the house is different. Their needs are different. Some of the men are coming because they're trying to avoid going to jail, so it's part of their probation, so it may be 90 days. Some stay a little longer just to get themselves established.
And they're encouraged to stay longer. The ones that stay longer typically then become assistant managers, or they become part-time residents. Part-time residents come for the support group meetings, the prayer sessions, and they really help mentor the new guys. That's a huge benefit in continuing to be on the road to recovery because they have mentors that have been down that road and are still on that road and are living examples that it can be done. And that's why this living arrangement, this peer support group, faith-filled environment works so well.
February 19th was 5 years without alcohol in my life, which has been the most interesting 5 years of my life so far.
And we have two great examples of individuals who have walked the road to recovery and embrace God, and they live in the moment, and those are our managers. And so they're now giving back to young men that not so long ago, that was them, you know, and somebody saw Jesus in them and wanted to help them. It's the circle of life. They're trying to teach, they're trying to coach, and just by living an authentic life, they're being mentors to these young men that never really had that.
Since being in my position, I've learned so much. I've grown to be more accepting of people where they're at, not where I expect them to be. You know, there's guys that come to us and they don't have a driver's license, they don't have an ID, they don't have a social security card or birth certificate. We've had them come with nothing but the clothes on their back. So I had a quick learning curve on how we are going to obtain all this stuff when we are limited in our funding, but there are lots of resources out there. So I had to put my nose in the books and find out who these people were and meet them and, you know, get to know them and have, it takes a village to raise us. So with now that I knew the village that would help, it became much easier, but it took time to learn everything and to learn the tone, and now I got a pretty good grasp of it, so whatever anybody needs, we can facilitate it.
He's really taken the home under his wing. He's given it all that he has. His mental attitude, how he can relate with them, and what they need to concentrate on, how they need to get involved with church, and they need to get involved with taking care of Alpha Omega.
We're obligated to do our own laundry. Everything's provided for us. We are obligated to cook our own meals and cook cook meals for the whole house if we want to, so, but yes, we're obligated to keep the house clean 100%.
The men pay for nothing at Alpha Omega.
It's a gift, and it's done just completely out of generosity and love out of the community. There's no payment that Alpha Omega wants from these men. This is just something that is a gift, purely a gift of love to you, to get on your feet.
Yeah, Alpha Omega Home is currently being funded through the community church donations, and they have supported Alpha Omega since the beginning. We also have a donor, Joanne Haiti, who has also provided money to help Alpha Omega be what it is today.
After my retirement, it gave me the ability to do something in my life that would make the community a better place to live in. These are people that just chose the wrong road to go down. And inside of them, they were just like me. And I saw it, and I wanted to have them respect themselves, that yes, they were worth saving and doing the right thing. I don't know who got more out of it, them or me.
Alpha Omega is also funded now, currently, through North Care Network. They're paying for the men who's staying their nights there at Alpha Omega. And they're the funding source for substance abuse services that we have a contract with.
The stipulation is that they have to go to therapy, a minimum of twice a month, which is outstanding. With North Care's funding and with the grant money and everything that we're going like we're doing, we have shown that we can keep our head above water. We are now a model for other counties. There's 15 counties in the UP. There's no reason why there shouldn't be one of these homes in every county in the UP. So Escanaba has seen what this is, and they were interested. So now Escanaba has its home too.
You know, unfortunately, there's more than one community that need another facility like this. But it also takes a community team effort. It takes law enforcement, it takes the court systems, it takes addiction professionals, it takes business owners. All these folks have to come together, and that's what's so challenging.
And we're transparent, we're accountable. That's why we made it as beautiful as we could make it, so the community can be proud of what they have. We removed all the sites, every tree that you could possibly not see our house is gone, and there was a reason for that, because we want you to see us. We want you to be proud of us and to keep helping us, because we do need you.
So what the house really helps these young men do is to control those appetites and live in the moment. Embrace God, forget the past. They're forgiven for all their sins in the past. And really embrace God, and for the first time, we want them to not be thinking about the next fix, not be thinking about the next high, that this moment is joyous, this moment is wonderful.
And if I can do something for any one of them that they can use, if not now, in the future, that they can remember, yes, I did go to a home and I was loved.
Our young people are struggling with addiction and with alcohol, and so whatever we can do to help them through that struggle is why Jason and I do it. We have a love for these people and using Christ's love.
I believe that the success for Alpha Omega lies in the fact that this is God's ministry. We are a model compared to other places. We really are. And I think that's why we have been so successful and are continuing to grow in the Upper Peninsula.
I just see an enormous opportunity to spread the goodness of God in the Upper Peninsula. And we're trying to answer the call to be in the streets with those in need. And yep, folks that can't be in the streets, they can certainly help too with donations. It's a wonderful opportunity to help those in need and really help them feel God's grace.
It's the beginning and the end, and it is God. Alpha Omega is God, and the house is of God. So if it stands and it flourishes, well, we know God loves us. And so far, God has loved us very much. And you can feel it, and you can see it in the community, and you can see it when it touches the lives of these guys. he said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts."
You know, folks that really hit rock bottom and need a full spectrum of assistance. They need a safe living environment, they need a bed, they need spiritual, moral support, everything, clothing to transportation, to get them on that road to be productive and really to begin living an authentic life and help them feel the love of Jesus Christ.
I heard about the Alpha Omega House while I was in jail. Really, there's no place to go for guys like me, especially when they're coming out of jail, and it's easy to get into trouble again or not be able to stay sober or away from the people that are not good influences. So it was a blessing for me to be able to go to Alpha Omega.
They're good men. Most of them are very, very good men, but they have had some very bad things happen to them and they've made some very bad choices. They have no place to go.
And they were expected to become productive citizens in society, which wasn't realistic. They were being set up for failure. I think that one of the biggest problems in our society will be addictions. It is addictions now, it will be in the future, because the virtue of self-control is not considered a virtue, but it very much is.
Every county has, in the UP is right now, is no different than any other county in the United States. We are under attack with the opiates, we're under attack with heroin, and especially the meth.
People need to realize that